How do you quickly spot someone's number one insecurity?
Within probably 60 seconds in any conversation.
Insecurities are very loud. Confidence, on the other hand, is very quiet.
If I know your significance, I know that your fear and your secret insecurity that not even your friends know.
If you want to know the secret, if somebody's being fake with you, there's really three things that you gotta know.
What you really see when you see a deep behavior profile is the behaviors we have are just different ways to either, and it's sad, I think.
How do you know whether someone's transactional?
How do they respond after an evening out? Like, do they send a text the next day and say, hey, thanks for that? Or like, or they only want to know data? Like, what time are we meeting next? Or what time is this going to happen? And let's say you get into a 1 hour talk with them on Zoom or something, and the entire talk is business, numbers, strategies, not where are you from? Do you have kids? You know, how is everybody? Is everybody doing okay? Are they connecting with a human, or are they connecting for some kind of bank transaction? Mm-hmm. And it's pretty obvious to see pretty quickly if somebody's a real human or not a real human.
If you want to know the secret, if somebody's being fake with you, there's really three things that you gotta know. Number one is what I call bestie bombing. I have people who come to me all the time I feel like somebody's being fake with them. And what they're doing is it's, oh my gosh, we're literally the same person. Oh, I think we're best friends. And we just met. Or we're just standing next to each other at the same party, and they give way too much right out of the gate of how much they love you. That's not what secure people do. Secure people don't attach to you instantly.
Is that a form of manipulation?
No, it's a form of insecurity. It would be manipulation if they actually meant it, but they don't. Two is the over compliments. We all have this sixth sense to be able to sniff out if that's real or not. Like, nobody needs to teach you if it's a fake laugh or not. Nobody had to say, hey, if you hear it like this, it's a fake laugh. No. We all, as humans, we have an ability, a sense to go, nah, that didn't sound real. That's not a real smile. You know, people have their photo smile and the real smile. And the same with the laughter. You're like, that wasn't that funny. Or they over compliment something. They compliment your shoes. They go, oh my gosh, I love that outfit. And then all of a sudden they've turned their head. You know what I mean? They're not really truly engaged in what it is. It's a ritual to them of that's how they have learned. Because to me, if you have to perfectly curate yourself, the sense of perfection, you're not getting the real human. You're getting a person in character. It's something that's so fake every single time. The third that you have to watch out for are the people that aren't willing to actually have an interest in you. Meaning they never ask anything about you. They're only wanting to talk about themselves. You're networking in a big room and somebody's looking at you, and all of a sudden they're looking at the room. Like they're looking for who they're gonna talk to next. And you've lost them. And so it's like, why we're both just kind of here saying things, we're going to slow down our words so it's not as awkward. And you say things like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And like, while you're both looking for somebody else to talk to.
How do you quickly spot someone's number one insecurity?
The first thing is you need to spot what they need from other people. If I know what you need to be seen as from other people, I know what was probably missing in your childhood right away. And there's 6 social needs, and these are significance, approval, acceptance, intelligence, pity, and power or strength. It's not that I need to be powerful. It's not that I need to be significant or accepted. It's I need people to see that I am those things. So the guy that's driving the giant jacked up pickup truck with like the plastic nuts hanging off the trailer hitch and the MMA I fight all the time sticker and the Glock sticker on the back of his truck, all like just Mr. Tough Guy. He doesn't have a need to be powerful all the time. He has a need for you to see him as powerful. And those are 2 very different things. So if you're just in a casual conversation and you hear somebody say, oh yeah, I've been working there for 20 years and still everybody calls me up, even after I retired, they still call me and ask for my advice. You're hearing significance right away. Somebody says, yeah, I actually worked there for 20 years. It was the greatest group of people. Everybody takes care of each other. Boom, acceptance. You're hearing it right away. Or if you hear somebody say, yeah, I mean, I worked at that company for 20 years, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be good at the speech tomorrow. I always mess these things up. Just so you'll say, oh no, Jack, you're going to do great. You're going to be really good. You did great last time. You know your stuff. That's approval. Or you hear somebody say, I worked at that company 20 years. It was right after I got my master's degree in blank and I wrote my paper on this, which led me to a managerial position over there. Intelligence. Somebody says, I've been working at that company 20 years and they never really pay attention to anybody. We had horrible hours coming in. Our boss was a total asshole and I had to endure that for 20 years. Pity. The pity needs person is one of the most confusing. It's not that they want pity. It's that they want you to understand how bad they had it or how much they went through. Our instinct with a pity person is to say, no, man, it's not that bad. You know, it was pretty good. You got a good paycheck. You had a good time. Not all the bosses were assholes. That's not what they want. So the moment you do that, it's like them knocking on your door and asking whether or not you're a drug dealer for the drug that they need. And you're going, no, not me. Strength and power. Like I worked at that company 20 years and I was always the boss. Everybody looked up to me. Everybody asked me for advice. And there was a lot of these little weak guys down in the sales department that couldn't make sales. But I went down there and I told them, you know, it's just the tough acting people. So that's one way of just seeing what people need socially. Each one of those carries with it a childhood wound of something that was missing or something that didn't get acknowledged. We carry stuff from childhood way too far into adulthood without us ever knowing it. And this is all of us. Within probably 60 seconds in any conversation, you can identify these needs in listening to people. If I know your significance, I know that your fear and your secret insecurity that not even your friends know is feeling insignificant and being left out and not making a difference. It's so clear. And if your need is acceptance, I automatically know that your insecurity is being left out, being exiled, or being made fun of in front of other people, or people laughing at you. If it's approval, it's that you're always right. All of your insecurities are right, and you're going to mess this up. So people confirming that. And if it's the intelligence thing, it's being seen as stupid or being publicly judged for not being smart. If it's the pity thing, then their secret insecurity is no one's going to know what you've been through to get where you are. No one's going to acknowledge you ever. No one's going to understand you. So each one of those, we can see the insecurities very clearly. And within probably 2 minutes, just using the system, you can see deeper into a person's life than their family and their best friends. And it's extremely reliable.
Insecurities are very loud. Confidence, on the other hand, is very quiet. Insecure people have the need to say everything so that I sound more believable. So you'll know how much I know and how smart I am. Confident people have the urge to say nothing because they have nothing to prove. Like if you disagree with me on something that I know to be true, I wouldn't be nearly as affected. Let's say if you were like, Jefferson, this is a dumb purple shirt you have on. I would, oh, okay. Like, I don't need to convince you what I already know the color of my shirt is. It's like, if you know that about yourself, what you have internally inside, you don't have the need, the insecurity to prove it to everybody else that they're wrong. The confidence is very quiet. The people that are typically the most looked to are the people that say the least. They listen a whole lot more.
If I could teach you in 30 seconds how to have the mentality and see the world as a huge, deep level profiler of human behavior. Pay attention to two things really closely. How does a person judge others? What do they judge other people for? And then what do they use to put other people down or make fun of them? Let's go backwards here. When a person wants to put someone down or hurt them with words, they're going to use the worst thing that they can. We tend to think that everybody's just like us. So the words you're hearing are the ones they think are going to hurt the most. So the words you're hearing from them, the insults or whatever, are the things that they're most hurt by. And when you're hearing judgments from those people, that's this Carl Jungian shame and fear and guilt that they're carrying, this shadow self, if you want to call it that. I'm concealing shame so I don't get made fun of and I don't receive what I call a social injury. So you listen to the judgment, you're seeing far deeper into their psychology than they would ever want you to see. And you listen to how they put people down, you're seeing where all their wounds are. You're seeing the weapons that hurt them the most. And that's why they're giving it to other people to hurt them. And that's what mushrooms did for me. I was crying for hours. I'm gonna almost cry talking about it. Just hours of me just being like, why have I wasted this life? I've just wasted it hiding all this shame for something that's not a big deal. Nothing is a big deal. And then I saw all this other stuff I couldn't figure out in other people. This guy's being an asshole. This person's being a dick, all this stuff. And I just saw that for the first time, they're just hurting. And all the things that we do, we tend to think no one else is suffering like me. No one else is hiding stuff like I am. No one else is concealing some shame like me. No one else needs as much affection as I do. But it's all of us shared this. We just hide it differently. What you really see when you see a deep behavior profile is the behaviors we have are just different ways to either conceal shame or deal with some kind of guilt. And it's sad, I think.
Hey, before you go, remember this. If you want to see someone's true nature, don't get distracted by surface behavior. Watch what they need to be seen as: significant, intelligent, powerful. The identity they push the hardest usually exposes the insecurity underneath it. Fake people reveal themselves fast. They attach too quickly, they overcompliment, they turn connection into transaction. It looks smooth, but it's performance, not confidence. And here's the deeper layer: how someone judges others exposes their own hidden shame. Read that correctly, and you stop reacting to behavior. You start seeing the wound behind it.